It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by Agile Dad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. I received an email recently from my good friend Mike Cohn, and he talks about in this email how to excel as a product owner. Now, I thought that this was a very positive, enlightening thing just from the title alone. So let's see where Mike takes it and takes on a little journey. Here we go. So, he starts out by saying, "I have 3 tips to help you be a better product owner, or to help you coach your product owner towards better success." Okay, that makes sense. So, just right out of the gate, we're going to go straight into the 3 tips. Here we go. Tip number 1: hold the interruptions. What do good product owners tell the team once a sprint has been planned? That what they've been asked to develop will not change. But that's a hard promise to keep, especially when customers and stakeholders change their minds or come up with new needs. In rare cases, it's likely okay to interrupt. Some changes are very important and worth interrupting a sprint, but most are not. I 100% want to stop there and say I wholeheartedly agree. I have seen too many situations where the sky is falling, but it's all Chicken Little, right? Um, but I've also seen situations where we need to stop immediately and get something fixed. So both of these situations are true, but let's see how he handles it. Let's see what he says. He says, here are 2 things to do when you're tempted to bring up a change mid-sprint. First, solicit the help of the Scrum Master. Give the Scrum Master explicit permission to push back against you anytime you want to bring something new into a sprint. What this does is it creates a third-party filter. I love that. Second, try writing a new idea somewhere. You can add it to the product backlog and tag it to come up at the next refinement meeting, or write the idea in an email and send it to yourself. Schedule it to arrive the day before refinement or sprint planning for the next sprint, if refinement has already happened. Getting the idea out of your head and onto paper is often enough to keep you from interrupting the teams. This is so true. Let's just face it, right? Reality. Teams get tons of interruptions, and most of them are either from the product owner or stakeholders or from other people who just say, "Hey, I just had this thing to be really quick." I don't think people understand, Mike, the cost of context switching. They don't realize that context switching is incredibly expensive. The team can be 3 to 5 times more productive if they can focus on one thing and get it done than they could if they're constantly jumping from one thing to another. So, when you're trying to deal with interruptions, it's just so important to understand the context of the interruption. So, one of the things that I often say is something that I learned from one of the groups that I worked with at Amazon. They would often say, does this warrant us killing our entire sprint and starting from scratch? And if the answer is this idea, this thing, this emergency is so important and it's worth killing the entire sprint for, then kill the sprint. If not, you would ask yourself, does this idea have enough credibility that I would set it up to be the first item we address, the very first item we address in the next sprint? If the answer is yes, then it is something that we want to address in the next sprint. Then obviously that's the direction we go. We queue it up to be the first item that we address in the next sprint. We do whatever due diligence or research is necessary to have it ready for the team, and we have it prepared. If not, if neither of those two applied, those items tend to fall into a category called known but not resolved. And what that means is oftentimes they get archived and they get put away. They still exist, but this is something that we'll revisit later when we do a technical debt sprint or when we are about to launch our new initiative for our next release of our product. We'll go back and review those known but not resolved issues and try to find which top items need to be addressed in the next release. What I found is this stops the team from being interrupted and allows them to focus and get the work done that they've committed to. All right, let's go to tip number 2. Remember, not every yes holds a hidden no. Oh, I love this one. As a product owner, your job is defining products or solutions that make people happy. You probably like saying yes when stakeholders make requests. Many product owners do not say no often enough. Amen. But here's why you should. For every request that you say yes to, you're actually saying no to a different request. To put it another way, every yes is a no to some future task. Wow, that's profound. I want to say that again. For every request you say yes to, you are saying no to some other request. To put it another way, every yes you say is no to some future task. Remember, requirements emerge as the team and customers learn more about the product or service. Customers, users, and others will continue to identify new needs through the product's lifecycle. If you're already committed to the team's timeline and you're committed to doing something else, you're implicitly saying no to those as yet unidentified requests. So be careful what you say yes to, and be careful how far ahead you're committing what a team will work on. Now, that's an interesting piece, too. In the past, I've seen people commit teams to, yeah, we'll get that done in 6 months from now or a year from now. And they don't realize that committing a team that far out is detrimental and can cause great grief. So it's important for you to be careful how far out you're committing the team and what you're committing them to. All right, here comes tip number 3. I just got to say, I love tip number 2. Tip number 3, listen and act on feedback. When I first read that, I almost said listen and act on Facebook. And I'm like, what? No, it's feedback. So listen and act on feedback. What's one of the toughest things a product owner must do? Listen to and actually take action on the feedback they receive. As a product owner, it's easy to get overly attached to your own vision for what you're trying to build. To be successful, you need to instead listen to customers, users, stakeholders, and yes, even your team. They know some things sometimes that you don't know. You don't need to do everything that anyone suggests. Remember, the mistake of not saying no often enough that we just talked about. Good products become great, though, when you listen to and act on the feedback of others. Allowing teams to focus, remembering that every yes has a cost, and letting go of your own ideas just a little will help you grow as a product owner and help you succeed with Agile. You know, I could not agree more wholeheartedly. Mike's emails are always so timely. This is a reflection of how to be a great product owner. This is a reflection of what we need to do to really get past our own obstacles and the 3 key things that product owners need to do to really rally the team and get everyone excited about doing the work. I can't thank you enough, Mike, for continuing to send these emails. I encourage you, if you haven't looked at Mike's site, Mountain Goat Software, take a look. They got lots of other great articles and great things that they curate. And these emails every single week are great reminders, Mike. So thanks for sending them out. And as always, if you have a topic you want us to discuss, feel free to reach out to us. Learn more at agiledad.com. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.